Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Well, friends, it was 365 days ago that we started Hy-Vee Today. This is Tony Tone. Thanks for being here. 1 year later, February 5th, 2019, the first show, I didn't know what to expect. Doing a talk show inside of a grocery store, I don't think it's ever been done. I think a lot of different things have happened inside grocery stores, but a talk show, probably not something that's happened, let alone something that happens 5 days a week for around an hour to an hour and a half. I was doing the math, and I believe that in the year of doing this show, we've had over 195 guests with us, ranging from a variety of different backgrounds and talking about various different topics, and it's been a lot of fun, that's for sure. So thank you for watching today, and if you've been with us, I mean, there's some people that have watched seemingly every single show. We can tell when you're watching live on Facebook. If you catch this on cable each night, thank you. Even if you've never said that, you watch the show, I know that you're there. The cable audience really surprises me, if anything. Makes me super paranoid about making sure I don't have anything in my teeth. And I think if you watch all the shows back, I've done a pretty good job of flossing. So shameless plug for Dr. Clove, my dentist, always encouraging me to floss. We want to talk with Jim Simmons, who helped put this whole thing together along with Chad Yoakum behind the scenes. We're going to have everybody that's behind the scenes come in front of the cameras later. But can you believe 365 days later, just like that?
Who would have guessed, right?
Man.
I mean, when we sat down and started dreaming this thing up, the thing we wanted it to be was a community show.
Right.
That was always that was my dream, that was my driving force. I didn't care about advertising, I didn't care about Hy-Vee.
Sure.
To a point that this is all about us, and wow, I think it's just been great. We've had great guests. I mean, we're going to have another one here in just a few minutes.
Yes.
That started the whole thing with us to begin with. And it has become something that anybody can use. That's positive, that's a good thing, that communicate with our people in town, our community. And thanks to you, I don't think it would have been that big win for us. Chad and his team, it couldn't have worked out better. It's just been a great adventure, and after a year, I can actually sit here and say, I think it's cool because you're right. I don't think any other grocery store has ever done this.
No, I don't think
or is doing this, because I get people walking in and for the first time, and they'll look over there and go, I'm scared to death that they're going to be on TV. And it's like, it's all good, So it's just been fantastic, and I just want to say thank you. I know you've put your heart and soul into this, and thanks to everybody who's come on our show. Without the guests and without all of the fun things that we've done, it wouldn't be the show it is today, and I just can't say enough good things about this show. And thanks for our sponsors. CBI and Toyota. Missing someone?
Team Staffing.
Thank you.
They've
I knew I was missing someone.
Since the jump, and that's the thing. It's like the show wasn't, I don't know, it just sort of was a conversation that happened, and then we started it, and then all these pieces came into play. And
it's just been great.
It is nice to be able to look back and see growth and momentum and people understanding that this isn't going to go away. You have to be consistent when you do things like this. You have to be there every day. And it's really the people responding as far as guests agreeing to come on the show.
Right.
And then all the emails that I send people, I tell them, I'm like, it's going to seem weird, but you're going to go to the Hy-Vee, and then you're going to walk past Starbucks like you're going to the seafood department. But trust me, you'll know you're in the right place when you see all the lights and cameras. And that's what every guest has said. They're like, wow, this setup is unbelievable. And I'm like, when it's over, it just packs away like it never happened before.
Yeah, and I think our guests are super excited once they get off, too. Like, wow, that was so much better than I thought. Or, and you're so great about delivering the message, and everything we've done on this show has been positive. It's been a good thing for our community and our surrounding communities. And that's the key to this. That's what we were all thinking about it when we put it together. And it's just been so much fun, and it's been a great year. And I'm looking forward to this year. I think we'll even get better at what we do.
Absolutely.
And the other thing that Chad brought us was being able to be on cable. I think that was a huge hit, because I can't believe how many people say, I saw you on TV, and I'm thinking, Did you see me? Oh yeah, you probably did.
Right.
I forgot all
Like
about
you
the
forget.
Hy-Vee. You know?
I forget all
And
the time that it's
it's
on
just a
cable.
good thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just super cool. So.
All right, with that being said, Cody, can you run to the bakery really
Yes.
quick? Got some goodies lined up to commemorate the 1
Cool
year
stuff.
anniversary. Toyota Muscatine Car Cam in action, heading to the bakery, and some. And by the way, if you're watching this show and you want to join us in a celebratory cookie or cake, stop by the store and we'll get you taken care of. Even if you're watching live and you want to come out or whatever, we're happy to take care of you. There's Jake. He's going to get the goodies for us. Jake Hardman, bakery manager, and they look really good, by the way. And as someone that's kind of been on a low sugar or as close to no sugar diet, I'm absolutely going to partake in one of the frosted sugar cookies because they look fantastic. Oh, Jake Hardman looks like 3 boxes worth. Betsy and Ryan are going to eat well today. That is for sure. All right, let's see. There's Cody loading up, and we'll get those goodies brought over here. Don't drop them, Cody. You can do it. I don't even know if they're going to fit in the cart. Oh, that's cool. All right, we'll have those brought over here. Betsy, did you see those yet? Okay. You spoiled the surprise, didn't you? No? All right. Here comes Cody behind the scenes with the cart cam. Yeah, Cody, come this way, man. You got 3. Yeah, over cake. Come on. I'm gonna try and not drop a giant cake. Wouldn't that be? Maybe that's how we celebrate the 1 year. We smash the cake in somebody's face. Thank you, sir. There's Dr.
I think my doctor said I'm supposed to have more cookies.
Yes.
But
yes.
I do go back for the hearing test next week, so I probably will want to.
There you go. Try to hold this up without spilling them. They did a really good job, and they're all sliding down. Perfect. Well, you get the idea, right? So if you're watching the show live and you want to have to hand one to you as we celebrate our 1 year anniversary. So thanks to the bakery for putting those together. Dr. Hy-Vee, you were, by the way, good to see you.
Hey, congratulations. And I was afraid I would be a closer, and here a year later, last night I was binge watching and couldn't leave. All the things that have gone on. So.
Yeah, how do we get this on Netflix? What's the deal?
I don't know.
Chad, Ryan, Cody, Betsy, let's get this on Netflix.
I
love the binge watch because I'm rewatching Sopranos. I found it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I have the Prime app on my phone. Last night I watched like 3 episodes. So yeah, I think if people have binge watched this show, thank you.
Why wouldn't they?
Right.
Is what I would say.
So when you were here a year ago, I mean, it is a strange. I'm very different, but the purpose has never changed, and that's always to be a good resource for the community. But I wonder, when you're the first guest a year ago, did you just think like, I'll go because I like Tony, and we'll see what this is all about?
Well, obviously, I like Tony, so
Sure.
that always helps. But Hy-Vee has such a strong commitment to community that when I was told about this, I thought, well, this has a great chance of being successful because Hy-Vee is constantly reaching out to the community. Wants to be. It's more than just a grocery store. It's a member of. It's an important part of Muscatine. So I'm not surprised that it took off, and I'm not surprised that with you behind the microphone that it's done so well.
It's been so fun to be able to do this and be creative. Look at that. There we go. A year ago. Wow. Holy smokes. So much has changed.
I think I'm wearing the same clothes.
I was going to say, look at that.
I have showered since then. I remember the day. So
Very nice jacket. I like that. It would be interesting to see what the weather was like a year ago. Because you're here,
weather.
You're here,
weather,
right? Your friend. It's the first thing I have written down on my sheet.
It's this morning at 7:30. The National Weather Service send superintendents.
They did.
These bulletins of there's bad weather coming. And at 7:30 this morning, they said there is a high risk of serious ice.
Oh, jeez.
So we are at this point. We are doing an early out and a late start.
Oh, look at that. Okay, this is kind of
exclusive.
Hey, now.
It's supposed to hit about 3 o'clock, which would be about when we would have buses on the road.
That's not good.
So I think by doing this, we will probably ensure that it's going to not start at 3, but probably 4. But we, you know, we not only have buses, but we have a lot of kids and parents
Sure.
on the road, and we just want to do the thing that's going to be the safest for everybody concerned.
Okay.
And if we do get what the Weather Service is saying is a high probability,
Yeah.
we'll go with a late start in the morning right away, so people can make those plans and
Sure.
hopefully be able to get the day in. So
is that official early?
it's official. It
Okay.
is.
So today, Tuesday, February 5th, early out at 1, and then for Wednesday tomorrow, late start 10 a.m.
It's a 2-hour late, so whatever your building's dismissal is, it's 2 hours prior to that.
Gotcha. Okay.
We're hoping, and we really encourage everyone tonight not to be on the roads.
Sure.
It's ice.
It's not good.
Ice does not care what kind of vehicle you have.
I read something
it's-
online about it. It doesn't matter if you got 4-wheel drive.
No.
Or, you know, the world's biggest, best tires. This is true. Before we started the show, we had some salt up front, and I bought another 50-pound bag of salt and stashed it behind customer service.
I think that's a good idea.
Because I just don't want to deal with it. You've been in education for a little while now. Last week was tough. Have you had weeks like that in previous years where you have multiple days where you have to make that decision?
Yeah, and you know, those are always really tough, because when we don't have school, we have a number of kids that they rely on school for breakfast, for lunch.
Yep.
Not every student has a warm place to be on cold days.
Correct.
So we recognize that we're putting some kids in jeopardy, but we also have the safety of all kids to consider about getting to school and making sure that they can get home safely. And we are working on a plan. We'll be, at this point, we've missed 7 days of school.
Okay.
And we're looking at, we'll make up 4 of those student days.
Gotcha.
It'll be that first week in June.
Okay.
And if we have any additional days, we would continue those out that Thursday and Friday, finish that week. We really want to avoid going into the second week in June. It's hard for families. A lot of different things are getting started, and we also know there's a law of diminishing returns on some things when you do that. So
if you want to keep my first grader till the 4th of July,
you know,
Dr. Hy-Vee, you can have him.
We may have to work on a 4-pay deal, maybe.
Yeah,
or something
you're
on
welcome.
That. But,
I think my wife would send my 4-year-old, who's in PK3, and she's going to be dismayed hearing that there's a late start tomorrow, because that means that the PK3 that he's in doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But what's good is that next year, with the institution of the Muskie Early Learning Center, he'll be going 5 days a week, and we're really excited about that.
We are really excited about that, and oddly enough, we just saw in the Iowa City is looking at doing the same thing, and so we're I said we're at least 6 months smarter than Iowa City.
Take
so,
that, Iowa City.
But we are. This is going to be a great opportunity for our kids and our families. We've had great partnerships with preschool operators in the community, and we'll certainly continue those. But we're going to be able to offer a full day of programming for our 4-year-olds, and we think that'll really make a difference in their preparation for kindergarten.
You've shepherded a lot of change that's all ended up being very positive, but with the age that we're in, misinformation gets out there, and then it's tough to get a grasp on some of these stories as they spin. I think about Washington School and the decision to close that, and the fact that people couldn't comprehend when it was said that Washington School cost more to operate than Muscatine High School, and that it would need all of these improvements and renovations, and it was just the right choice. I wonder, as you approach this plan with Colorado and then eventually turning that next year into the Muskie Early Learning Center, is that something that you are conscious of, wanting to make sure that you're transparent enough to say, here's all the factual information, here's why we're deciding to do this?
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to have happen is a Facebook post or something spiral out of control and people not knowing what's going on.
You know, one of the things I've learned is trying to avoid as much Facebook browsing as possible, because it sometimes can be, it's the way that negativity can be weaponized.
Yep.
When we looked at our facility situation. We have most of our buildings most of our elementary buildings are going to be 50 years or older.
Wow.
We have a declining enrollment primarily due to number of births in the county.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we have a very old middle school in Central that does
Sure.
not have a long lifespan. So we, by moving the sixth graders back to the elementary buildings, and we did this because we really feel like it's going to make a difference in their achievement,
Yep.
their capacity to be more prepared for those 7th and 8th grade years, and by doing that, being able to do the Early Childhood Center, we're going to be able to move all of our 7th and 8th graders to West, which again takes some of the cost of operating Central Middle School off the
Yep.
table. Because one of the things that we want to make sure happens is that we stay in front of the curve on fixed cost.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a declining enrollment for a number of years. Unlike some districts, we have not had to RIF any teachers. We've not had to cut any programs. We've actually added services because we've done I think our people have done a really good job of managing those fixed costs. And
Yep.
so we think by doing this, our buildings are going to be at 80-85% capacity, which is about where you'd like them to be.
Sure.
We're going to be able to maintain our programs and really set the district up for the next decade in looking at what additional building at that point the district may or may not need to do.
I think it's all exciting, and the thing that I want people to remember is that the best interests are for our students and for our teachers and for the community and for the future. That's where the focus is always there at the administration building and with the school board. There is no agenda, and I just think this all makes sense. All these moves that have happened, they're certainly tough. Change is tough. We know that. Regardless of whether you're changing from being on the radio to being on a TV show in a grocery store, or you're talking about adjusting, places where your kids are going to school. But it's all working towards a common goal, which is what's best for everyone.
And
right?
Our crystal ball is not that crystal.
Sure.
You take the data that you have, you make your best decisions. You know that not everybody will agree with those,
Mm-hmm.
but I really hope people do recognize that when the board, when the administration makes these recommendations, make these moves, it is about not only the best interest of students, but the best interest of the community.
Absolutely.
And so we are excited about what's coming up. The new PE facility at the high school is a state-of-the-art PE
Yes.
facility. We're going to be doing significant renovations at McKinley starting this spring, and we are also well on the way to getting started on a new science STEM wing at the high school.
Yep.
That again will be one of the finest facilities to be found. So while we're making some changes in some areas, we're certainly expanding our opportunities in others, and I think it all bodes well for the future of Muscatine.
It's nice to know that, something else that I think about is because where I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, a lot of these schools that I went to they didn't have the luxury of land to expand. And when
Yep.
you think about it, McKinley, for instance, there's a lot of land. And I don't know if that was part of the planning or however things lined up 40, 50 years ago, but the majority of our schools and these facilities that you mentioned adding things on have the capacity to do that. The Chuck Van Heck Center, that was a great piece of land that was able to be utilized.
Yeah.
McKinley has so much space. A lot of school districts aren't afforded that luxury anymore with how on top of, the layouts of these communities can be. They don't tend to have as much green space anymore. So that really plays to the advantage of, and I kind of have, I've kind of been shown some of the early plans for McKinley, and it's going to be so great.
It is going to be a really exciting opportunity for that neighborhood. We're going to McKinley, and the changes we can make on some traffic flow for that area I think
Sure.
will really help. But whenever a school district puts investment into a school facility,
Yep.
you're also putting really investment in that neighborhood.
Absolutely.
And so I one of the things that I just really want to, I guess, stress to your audience, Teen is on the verge of having a renaissance. When
Yep.
you look at what's happening downtown, what you're looking at, what H&I is doing downtown, and they're renovating. I think Muscatine has a real bright future, and we just really want to be prepared for that and be a good partner with that.
Well, we certainly know that we also understand there's a couple thousand people each day. I don't understand. I did the drive for like 2 months from Rock Island to Muscatine. We're moving. This is my wife's hometown, and we're doing enough things as a community to make Muscatine more attractive for those folks to consider someone that's already got a job here to turn around and buy a house and enroll their kids in our schools. It's such a good shot in the arm for the economy.
And we need to really need to be better at being ambassadors for our community. I'm going to tell you, my kids, if they were there, that would be a great experience. Now, the good news, bad news, they're all 30 to 40 years old, so that if they were in high school now, would not be probably a good thing. But named Muscatine as a district of distinction.
Yeah.
We are in the top 10% of high schools in the state for AP offerings. Our AP scores we perform in the top of the state and the nation in our scores. We have kids that come to us with difficulties and don't perform as well. We recognize that. We know that can skew the results, and we're working every day to make that better. But I'm going to tell you, anybody that wants to throw rocks at our school, I'll pick them up and throw them right back, because we have a great school system, we have great teachers, and we have a great community. And I just encourage everyone to really become a cheerleader for Muscatine, because if we don't, exactly who is going to?
Right. And for me, again, almost 7 years in this town, I thought I understood that, and then I had the pleasure of emceeing the senior scholarship night last year, and it was almost 3 hours long, because we have so many great businesses and individuals that want to continue to support our young people, and all of these scholarships that were awarded for those folks to continue their education wherever it led them. I mean, it was just such a great thing to see. So I think there's a lot of examples like that, and like you said, Dr. Hy-Vee, we just need to continue to vocalize that, and any chance we get to tell somebody that they should. I mean, the cost of gas alone, if you're going to drive, unless your job is paying for your gas, which I don't think it is. I mean, for me, that's I wouldn't want to deal with that. Switching gears, big week for MHS and the Booster Club. Cake auction is Friday.
Yes.
The cake auction is one of those things that has done so well over the years that it's inspired surrounding area schools, other places within the state to do something similar. I wonder, your first experience several years ago now with the cake auction, were you just with how much money people were spending on cake?
I was somewhat shocked.
Right.
Not somewhat, I was shocked. First of all, the quality of the cakes. My experience at cake raffles was somebody would buy a Jiffy Mix,
right,
and bring in a box of brownies, and so you had these. It was almost like the Rose Parade of cakes. And so that was astounding. And then the support of everyone from parents to organizations to our business community to provide funds for our boosters just was really heartwarming. And again, it goes to show how important being a Muskie is to people.
Absolutely.
And there is nothing like this. And so I always look forward to it. I feel like it's part of my responsibility to eat a lot of cake that night, and that's a really good thing. I can be on the treadmill the entire day the next day. But we really do appreciate people that come out and support that, and I really encourage everyone Friday night to be out there because it is a spectacle. And it's really one of those things you're seeing a community come together, and for no other reason than want to do good things for kids and for the school. And that's a pretty special night.
And it's nice to know that the Booster Club, parents, volunteers that give so much of their time, and the fact that the funds from the cake auction and all the various concessions and other events that the Booster Club will do not only support all the athletics, but all the activities, so that Muscatine students are able to go to various, whether it's in the state or out of the state, competitions, sporting events, whatever that activity they're in, we want them to be able to stand there next to their peers and not feel different, right? And to know that we've got their back.
Well, and again, it's part of that, and you'll hear, once a Muskie, always a Muskie.
Right.
And that is important that kids have that sense they're a part of something bigger. And we also know that activities provides that well-roundedness to students.
Sure.
Because I look back at my high school days and participation in athletics and music and drama. All of those things were really important for me to figure out things about me.
Sure.
And for a lot of our kids, it gives that extra element of support for them in developing, and it's really an important part. And from athletics to music, again, if you want to take part and participate, Muscatine has a place for you, and we need you.
And we have so many examples of students having success at that next level in college, and then getting into professional careers. It's nice to see a good a variety, right? I mean,
exactly.
You see the students come through.
In the last week,
we
had an alum that had a great night at basketball at the University of Iowa,
Joe
East
Camp. Oh my gosh.
And just about a week prior to that, we had an alum that was performing live on television on
Unbelievable, right?
And so those are special, and I like to think that Muscatine High School had just a little bit of part in helping them on that route.
Absolutely. There's such a great story that the Big Ten Network and Gatorade did, where they came to town and talked to Brett Olson at the Y, and Joe Wiestkamp's story is a good one. You're right. I mean, Chris Hassel, former Muskie, was on CBS doing some pregame for the Super Bowl this past Sunday.
Right.
A classmate of mine at St. Ambrose. So there's so many different Muskies out in the world doing good work. And that goes out to all the Muskies that decided to stay here in town and live and work and raise their family, because they understand how special this community is.
It is, and we need those folks that help carry that tradition on.
Yep.
We're just really district is really grateful for the support, and again, I just really am so grateful for all the work that Hy-Vee and Tony, what you do for our community.
I appreciate that.
And so keep it up.
Yeah, I plan on it, as long as they have me.
There you go.
With the amount of money that we're spending on these cookies, they're going to have.
I was going to say those are
They're very intricate.
That had to be that really.
I don't know whose budget these are coming out of.
I don't know. If you'd like, I'll call the Des Moines office and see if I can track that down for you.
Yeah,
because there's probably a line item somewhere in the corporate budget for that.
Fine with that.
Yeah.
One of the last things I want to mention is a stressor for this year, but not just this year, always, but certainly highlighting the importance of attendance for all Muscatine students. It makes sense. Last week, I was invited to speak briefly in the morning at Mulberry Elementary School, which was great. I'd never been in Mulberry. Worked across the street from Mulberry for years. Was invited in there. One of the things that they're doing is, and I think a lot of schools are incentivizing students, and at Mulberry, kids that have perfect attendance each month will have a chance to win a $100 Hy-Vee gift card, which is a really nice gesture that Mulberry and their PTO is doing. But some people would say, well, kids just need to go to school. Why do we have to incentivize them? Well, the thing is, Dr. Hy-Vee, it's not as easy for each student to show up every day. And I think that's what people need to understand, is not every kid has the luxury of getting dropped off by a parent that's patting them on the head and wishing them well. Getting to school can be a challenge for a lot of our students. And regardless of how they get there, struggling or not, every one of them needs to know that being there every day is so crucial. It is critical, and you hit the nail on the head. There's 100 reasons why kids may have an attendance problem. Everything from emotional issues to health issues to some difficulties at home. Sure.
So we need trying to find a response to help all those kids. But the bottom line, if kids aren't in school, it's really impossible for them to keep up.
Yep.
And if kids miss 5, 10, 15 days a year, and they do that repeatedly, they are falling so far behind.
It's tough.
And we all know that attendance patterns that start in school often follow people right to the workplace.
100%.
And often in the workplace, they are not nearly as flexible in working with attendance issues.
This is true.
And so we just really want our kids to understand that to be a good citizen, to be a good employee, to be responsible, you need to be there every day, all day, and ready to go. And I know some days it's hard. My guess is there's days that you'd just soon not have had to get up and do your work. I know there are days that we all feel that way. But as our responsibilities, we need to make sure we pass it on to kids. So we're excited about the work. It's a continuing project, and we really appreciate that you had that opportunity to speak to Mulberry, because
it was a lot of
it's
fun.
good for kids to hear other adults say it's important to be in school.
I made the mistake, and you know that I went to college initially to be a high school English teacher. Sometimes I forget that when you talk to a gym full of kids, you can't really ask questions because they all respond to you at once. So I made the mistake of saying, like, imagine if you got a $100 Hy-Vee gift card, what would you buy? And they were all saying, like, pizza. And I was like, oh my gosh. And one of the great staff members at Mulberry said, count down from 3 to 1. And I was like, that works? 3, 2, 1. And they just... So our educators, I can't say enough about how much I respect and admire no matter what grade. I mean, I think about the teachers that are handling my 4-year-old, my first grader, and then all the way up to high school and secondary ed. I mean, it is a tough job.
It's never been more stressful.
Sure.
The pressures on our classroom teachers from student testing and performance to dealing with some difficult behaviors.
Sure.
Our teachers are there. They're there every day doing the best for our kids, and we really need to tip our hat to them and recognize what a great job they do.
Well, I appreciate your time, the fact that you were our first guest ever on the show, and that you're here on the 1-year anniversary. Would you please take a cookie or two back to the office?
I'm not sure I would be able to leave without one of these. So I greatly appreciate that.
I feel like I should send a box with you to the office.
I think that would be dangerous.
You think so?
I think I can squeeze one into my diet.
Sure. You'd show up with half a box of cookies at work.
And
what
say,
happened to the rest of them?
I hit a bump. They flew out the window.
It was very bumpy out there. And a reminder, we kind of had some breaking news for today, Tuesday, 2-hour early dismissal.
Yes.
And then a delayed start for Wednesday.
Yes.
2-hour late start for Wednesday.
And just a reminder, everyone, be careful out there. If we get this weather, it's going to be very, very hazardous out there.
Aren't you excited, Dr. Hy-Vee, for when spring does show up? And you don't have, because I don't think a lot of people know that on most days when the weather is bad, you brave the element, you traverse the roadways, and then you make that call before sometimes 5 a.m. Aren't you excited to sleep in, to not have to worry about snow and ice?
I'm going on record.
Yeah.
I hate winter.
Love it. I love it. It is such a pain.
It is.
I'm telling you this, as a parent with young kids, yes, my wife was ready to get them back on Friday, but I know that our teachers we're chomping at the bit, like, let's go, whether we need to get back in the classroom every day away, weather related or not. It's a tough thing to get those kids back into that groove. No matter what age they are, it's tough. All right, so hopefully this will be the last of the weather-related delays. We'll see.
From your lips to God's ears.
That's right. Let's make
Tony,
it happen.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a great job.
Dr. Jerry Hy-Vee, Superintendent, Muscatine Community School District. Let's go CBI Bank and Trust ILCAM if we could. We are celebrating 1 year of Hy-Vee today, and it's very appropriate that the ILCAM is set up at some birthday candles. Look at that. Thank you, sir. And not to mention, your decorations, 10% off apparently. So should you find yourself needing some candles to commemorate whatever you're commemorating, maybe it's the 1 year anniversary of hosting a talk show in a grocery store, we can get you taken care of just like that. All right. These cookies look fantastic, by the way. I should hold one up and again, give a shout out to the bakery. They did a really good job. And they're my favorite sugar cookies. They did so good. Look at that, right? It's edible, too. You know how I know that? I just took a bite. Oh, that's marvelous. I got frosting on my face. Steve, you need one of these cookies? Not yet, he says. All right. Very good. Wow, that's wonderful. All right, so I hate talking with my mouth full. It's like one of my biggest pet peeves. And I've done it too many times on this show, right? Heaven help us if I talk with my mouth full more. So we have been doing the show for a year. We've had so many fun guests agree to be with us. And I believe we have a little bit of a highlight reel with some faces and some places and some peeps, maybe some of your neighbors, some of your friends, as we celebrate 1 year of Hy-Vee today. And we'll take a look at this. And then maybe we'll bring the big old cake over, and we'll stick Ryan Broderson's face right in it. So 1 year of Hy-Vee today. Check it out. All right. Hi, everybody. This is Tony Tone. Welcome to the first ever Hy-Vee today inside Muscatine Hy-Vee. That's all I got. Goodbye, everybody. I have not rewatched the first show, but I don't know if I could. It'd probably be very awkward to rewatch myself because didn't really know what I was doing. Did not know. Just kind of was hoping that it went well and that I didn't say anything silly or redonkulous. So yeah, it does feel really good. You know, the thing is, a lot of people assumed when this show started, oh, that's why Tony went to work at Hy-Vee. You know, that's why he did it. And that wasn't the case at all. I mean, the first day, it was December 11th at Hy-Vee, I guess it would have been, 2017, right? Still 2017 at that point. And I had an email that Jim was linking to this technology, the flux capacitor, if you'll have it, that makes the live streaming show possible. And then we got together, I think, in January, late December, early January, and this quickly came together, and then it was decided that we would start February 5th, and it was the day after the big game last year, and it's just been a lot of fun. And it is a challenge, right? I mean, booking a show like this, not to pat myself on the back or anything, but it's tough to do, and to get people to agree to come in and to have consistent, hopefully useful, entertaining, a nice mix of informational, entertaining people. It's a lot of fun. And the school district is calling right now. So that is an exclusive that we had with the 2-hour early dismissal for today and the late start on Wednesday. I love that Dr. Hy-Vee did that. That was great. Like, he broke some news for us this morning, and we appreciate his time. I want to show off this cake that the bakery made. I don't know how to really lift this without shifting it or anything. But the Hy-Vee Bakery did an awesome job. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? It's so heavy, too. That's the thing. I don't know what's in here. Like, this is it's a dense cake. It makes me wonder if it's red velvet, which I don't know if it is, but it's really heavy. They did a good job, didn't they? Like, I'm super impressed with our bakery, always. And sometimes you just need to be reminded of how talented people like Lainey and Jackie and Jody are, the decorators. And Delmer has a cheese platter that he's put together for us to celebrate the 1-year anniversary that he would like to bring over in the shape of a microphone. Thank you, Delmer. We appreciate that. Delmer also wants to stick Ryan's face in this cake, is what he told me. So we appreciate that. All right, so before we go any further, why don't we have everybody walk around and at least say hi. So, Chad, if you want to go to Cody's camera, and then we'll have everybody behind the scenes come in front of the camera and say hi to the folks at home, and then we'll kind of wrap today up as we celebrate the 1-year anniversary. And we say thanks again to our friend, Dr. Jerry Hy-Vee, for being with us. We really appreciate his time. You know, he is running the school district, right? He is running the show. Is everybody going to fit in the one shot, or do we need the 2 shot? Here's Betsy. Betsy, hold on, let me slide this chair out of the way. Betsy, how long have you been with the show now?
I can't count that high, Tony.
Oh, what's your favorite part of doing this show?
Getting called Brenda, Beatrice, Ben, Bailey, Batman, Becky. Yeah.
How many cookies do you think you're going to eat today?
All of them.
Good. All right. Ryan Broderson, you've been here since day one, right? Pretty much?
Yes, day one.
Look at Ryan. Ryan's like, I like not having to be on camera. When Ryan started, he was 14, and now he's 16 years old. You do a really good job. I appreciate all the work. Ryan and Chad, everybody behind the scenes. I mean, you should all get more recognition because I just have to show up and not swear. That's really, I mean, I say that as a joke, but as long as there's a guest, and we've had days where there hasn't been a guest, these guys make it a lot easier. So thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Cody is our newest member of the team. Come up here, Cody. Don't be shy, darn it. Been a couple months now. Are you enjoying yourself, sir?
Yeah, it's not really a job, so I like it. You know, it doesn't feel like a job.
That's
so,
good.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, Chad, come on, man. Don't hide on us much longer. Don't those cookies look good? They're so good. Those sugar cookies. Listen, I know that I've been on a diet that doesn't really require a lot of sugar, but those things are amazing. Chad, you had this idea with this piece of equipment called the Sling Studio. Did you think, first of all, that this show would ever come to be? Your thought was initially just to maybe do some like videos in the store, right?
Yeah, some kind of live element with your talent. But this show, it's really, it came together pretty quickly, like you said. And just from day one, I mean, we just went with it. And I think some of the one of the most positive aspects is it gives Muscatine community kind of its own local talk show, some place where people can come and share their fundraising efforts and some of the positive programs that they have for our community. And like Jerry was saying, that you've been a good champion and role model for the community, and thank you for hosting the show every day.
Listen, it's not an easy thing, and for those of you that have come out to the store and seen this happen, I mean, there's so much to this that is set up every single day. We don't really have a set, like if you think about most TV shows, they just come in and they like turn cameras on. Everything in here is set up and and put away at the end of the day. But it's really exciting and encouraging to be able to do this a year later. It's wild to think that I can still be, scratch that creative itch. And then often when this show's done, it's just whatever, bagging groceries or whatever for me. And these guys go about their lives, and then we get together and do it again. So thank you all. I appreciate it. Betsy, 2 cookies for you, 6 for Ryan, he said.
Why 6 for Ryan?
I don't know. You take it up with Ryan. That's his thing. It's not mine. Ryan is hungry. But yeah. So again, if you're watching with us live, we'll have some cookies and cake available if you want to stop by. I know that it's early at this point. It's 9:15. Those look great. They did such a good job with those cookies. Part of me doesn't even want to eat them, but I already took a bite out of this one.
That would be a good cake for the cake auction.
Oh, keep it for the cake auction?
Well, Betsy's going to make a cake for the cake auction.
Uh-huh.
You got your work cut out for you there.
I know.
Betsy, you can do good. Don't worry.
Thank you, Tony.
We believe in you. We believe in you. Steve Graham, is it cookie time yet for you? Almost cookie time for Steve Graham. All right. So if please take one. By all means, take 6 of them. And again, if you're watching, please come out and stop by. We'll have a box of cookies available if you want to grab one. This cake is something else. I mean, it's a really heavy cake. Mike, if you need a cookie, we got one for you. You little cookie. You come on over, Mike Snook. All right. Wow, just like that. They're so good, aren't they? I tell you what, everybody needs a sugar cookie every once in a while in their life. That's for sure. All right, so a couple of things. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is National Weather Person's Day. I should have mentioned that when Dr. Reby was on. Dr. Reby oftentimes has to be the weather person, and he does literally go out on the mornings when we get snow. He is out and about checking the roadways. Thank you, Jody, one of our lovely cake decorators walking behind the set. Jody donating the cakes for today's show and the cookies. We really appreciate that. Thank you, ma'am. So Dr. Jerry Reby, also a meteorologist as far as I'm concerned. Today is also National Nutella Day. Anybody a fan of Nutella? I've had it once or twice. I don't know. It was a big deal a couple years ago. People were putting Nutella on everything, right? I never got it. I mean, I tried it and I thought it's like, I don't know, it's like chocolate spread. I'd rather have peanut butter. I'm more of a peanut butter fan. Call me crazy. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. Today is also National Safer Internet Day. So be safe on the internet. And this is true, and I wouldn't make it up as an excuse to say someday is National What Day. You will quickly see that today is National Shower with a Friend Day. So I'm not going to sit here and encourage you to shower with friends for whatever reason. February 5th is National Weather Person Day, Nutella Day, Safer Internet Day, and Shower with a Friend Day. Maybe you watch the show in the shower with your friends. Today is also the last day, I believe, to get 2 24-packs of Miller Lite, Coors Light, and you save $6. Is that correct, Alex Armstrong, who is behind the scenes right now? And it's our 1-year anniversary, Alex. You got the crazy cake. Right. You did. And there goes Ryan sliding under the camera. Nobody saw him. He's a ninja. All right, let's wrap up and we'll get out of here for the day. So thanks again to Jim Simmons, Hy-Vee Store Director, for being on with us briefly this morning, for believing in me and allowing the show to happen. couldn't happen without a couple people. Jim's one of them, that's for sure. And thanks to Dr. Jerry Reby for being here on the 1-year anniversary. Ryan Broderson, I just kind of want to do the fuel saver that we've got Friday, Saturday, the wine dinner, and and maybe the Special Olympics basketball game. We've kind of talked about everything else. So let's go with the fuel saver that's happening in this store Friday, Saturday. This is a big deal. If you love using your fuel saver, I believe the price of gas is $2.09 a gallon. So you don't have to pay full price. You can pay $2.09 a gallon. If you have fuel saver, come to the store and take advantage of these great deals Friday, Saturday. With every $50 you spend, we'll give you 25 cents off per gallon. The more you buy, the more you save. It'll really add up because there are so many items in this store that have a fuel saver on them already. You'll quickly be saving $1 or more. Some people pay a penny for 20 gallons of gas. I haven't got to the point, but that's incredible if you've done that. Good for you. And by the way, if you use the fuel saver, take a picture of your receipt and tag us in it on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We'd love to see you saving money. That's Friday, Saturday right here. Don't miss out on your opportunity to save big. The Muscatine Community Wine Dinner, the YMCA Wine Dinner, is this Saturday. You still have time. It's getting down to the wire. It's almost sold out. You need to call Amy Hess, the Y, 563-263-9996, and reach out. Get your tickets. 5-course meal, wine pairing, the whole kit and caboodle, if you'll have it. This is this Saturday. Hy-Vee chef Brian Scott will be preparing the meal. He'll be on the show with us Thursday, Friday in the Hy-Vee Today kitchen, which we're excited to have somebody back in the Hy-Vee Today kitchen. And get your tickets this Saturday. Dinner is at 6:30. Doors open at 6. 5 courses, wine, a good time, and you're supporting the Muscatine Community Y and their youth and teen programming. That is for sure. Okay, last but not least, could we do Special Olympics basketball? We talked to Jason Miller about this yesterday. Now, a week from today, right? 1 week from today, February 12th, at Muscatine High School, Special Olympics basketball taking on Muscatine Fire and Police Department. The game will be live streamed for the very first time this year. If for whatever reason you cannot make it, how excited are we that the game is not happening tonight with the ice that's in the forecast? Let's hope for great weather next Tuesday because I want this game to happen. This is 6 o'clock at the high school. Admission is free, but I want you to participate in things like the bake sale, T-shirts available for purchase, raffle items, and more. Not sure what's going on. Something always happens off to the side. I don't know. I think Betsy's juggling fire. Special Olympics basketball. There's Delmer, everybody. How you doing, pal? Good to see you. Oh, no. He stuck his finger in the cake. I really thought he was going to bring me some cheese or something. He stuck his finger in the peanut butter, and then he blows snow rocket. That is right here. That's your main man, DK. I don't know if I can serve this to strangers now because it's got some Cooler's DNA on it. Fantastic. All that time I thought maybe he knows that I bought some of those Ellsworth cheese curds yesterday and he's gonna make it rain cheese curds, and he stuck his finger right in it. All right, well, we're still friends, Delmer. We're still friends. That's fantastic. All right. Well, more Delmer to come in the second season of Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. You thought you'd had enough of him, but he's here to stay, that's for sure. Okay, that's going to do it. I appreciate you watching this show. Again, if it's your first time that you've ever tuned in, this show is live Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. If you have an Apple TV or a Roku streaming device, we encourage you to download Boxcast, and you can watch Hy-Vee Today, every single episode, I think, on your TV. And then speaking of television, Muscatine Power and Water, cable, 10:30. Coming soon on cable, it'll be maybe live. Ooh, can you believe it? I'm becoming the Paula Sands of Muscatine. I just got to get that Paula Sands money. But does Paula Sands have cake and cookies with her logo on it? Probably, but not right now. Darn it, these are for us. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Truly do. It's a lot of fun to be able to do this show every single day. And I'm happy to continue to do it and talk about things that are going on in and around the Muscatine area. And as I always say, if you have a guest suggestion for us, Janet Clark, our friend who's been on the show, reached out, guest suggestion, talking to some folks with the Muscatine China Initiative next week. Janet Clark will be here. And there's a really cool concert next week. So that's what I'm saying. No matter what type of guest you think or a suggestion that you have, please bring it to me, hyveetoday@gmail.com. Reach out on social media. Call me at the store. Stop me in person if you have a topic that's worth covering or a guest that you think we should talk to. We'll absolutely make it happen because that's what we're here for. All right. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow live at 8:30. Don't forget, 2-hour late start for Muscatine Community Schools on Wednesday and a 2-hour early dismissal today. That was breaking news from Superintendent Jerry Reeby. I'm going to finish this sugar cookie and maybe get into the cake. I'll try and use a fork and knife, not a finger. I actually took a picture. I know you didn't see this, but I took a picture of the cake about 2 minutes before Delmer put his finger in it. So that's good. I got that on record. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks to CVI Bank and Trust. Thanks to Toyota of Muscatine and team staffing. Really appreciate their support and the fact that they have entrusted us to promote their brands. And they do good work in the community, and we're happy to have them as a part of this show. Be careful tonight. Ice in the forecast. Winter in Iowa. The groundhog did not see his shadow. So hopefully, this, as far as any type of weather events, right? Let's get spring here. We deserve it. All right. Thanks for watching, y'all. Goodbye. That's it.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton.
Yeah, man.
This Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today.